Colin Kaepernick tweeted on Wednesday, it's the 3-year anniversary of the first time that he protested systemic oppression. That came in the form of sitting during the national anthem. He would eventually go on to kneel during the national anthem, and he would eventually go on to be shunned by the NFL after the 2016 season. Complicating the situation, the NFL's new partnership with Jay-Z and Rock Nation. And Chris, when this was first rolled out on Tuesday, it was kind of a soft launch where they had a few newspaper articles and website articles about it. It was officially launched yesterday. I thought something's not right here because Jay-Z supported Colin Kaepernick. Does this mean Colin Kaepernick's getting back in? What does any of it mean? And it became clear yesterday when Jay-Z was answering questions with Commissioner Roger Goodell. He's just glossing over this whole Kaepernick thing. He's focusing on the future. And I think a lot of people are troubled by it, and rightfully so, because to the extent the NFL is now aware of the message that Kaepernick was trying to send, you can't say you've gotten the message but still continue to kill the career of the messenger.
Well, yes. It still boils down to the 32 owners who are not going to want to deal, or the coaches are not going to want to deal with the distraction of having Colin Kaepernick. I mean, ultimately, even for the coaches who are totally in his corner about what he's fighting and all of those things, I think it would still scare them just because it's going to become a media circus. And, of course, I know, coaches, they're creatures of habit. They're conservative by nature, as is anyway, and they don't want that type of attention and media frenzy. I still think
hang on.
Yeah.
How long do you really think it would be a big deal if somebody added Colin Kaepernick as a backup quarterback? I mean, is it like a Tim Tebow thing where you're concerned if he's number 2 on the depth chart, there's going to be the pro-Kaepernick crowd that will never let it go, that he should be the starter? Is that what your concern is?
I think so. Yeah, I do. Plus, there's a guy in the White House who might get involved. I mean, there's just so many different ways it can go to where it just will never end. And that's what I think would scare owners and coaches ultimately. As you know, and I know you're on the same way, I'm all for the fight and what Colin Kaepernick's doing. I really am. And it's a shame he's not in the NFL. It's wrong. He's certainly one of the 64 best quarterbacks on the planet. I can say that much. I mean, not even bat an eye with that. But now he's been out of the game for 3 years, too. I mean, that's... Hey, I mean, I don't know. There's all-time greats that I don't know if I would trust once they've been out of the game for 3 years. It's not easy.
But it's not his fault. It's not his fault. That's the problem. Sometimes you have managed to freeze him out for so long that the mere fact that you've successfully frozen him out makes it easier to freeze him out. That's what I have a problem with. Let me point this out before we run out of time in this segment.
Yeah.
I was told 6 years ago when Jay-Z started the Rock Nation Sports Agency that this may be the first step in a play to eventually become an NFL owner, Chris. And I'm trying to read beneath the surface here and see where this is all heading. This is a big deal here. And he can create a lot of goodwill with the owners by helping them advance their goals, whether it relates to social justice, improving the Super Bowl halftime, all the things he's going to be doing. I don't know what kind of money he has, if he can afford to be a majority owner of an NFL franchise, because I think at this point you at least need $3 billion to pull that off. But I think this is the next step toward Jay-Z potentially owning an NFL team.
I hear you there. I feel you. I would expect that too. He's an extremely smart individual. He's really kind of encountered it all through growing up in rough areas in Brooklyn, and certainly been around a lot of different people of different cultures. And I do think Jay-Z's heart is in the right place with this whole thing. I mean, I do think he's doing this not only as a business move, but yeah, he's trying to shed some light and some knowledge on 32 white owners about, no, your thought process is wrong, or your tactics are wrong about attacking this situation. And that's where I think, to what you're saying, he can really get in the trust tree, or the circle of trust there with the owners, and maybe be some sort of an owner at some point.
31 white owners. One is a Pakistani who has authored one of the all-time great success stories, the Shad Khan story of arriving here at age 16 with like $5 in his pocket and building the empire that he has. But your point is well taken. I still think it's very, very delicate to try to balance what Jay-Z is doing now with his past support of Colin Kaepernick and the fact that Kaepernick is still frozen out of the NFL.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.